car industry, each segment has got its ruler, maybe called the king of that segment. And we all are aware about the 3 Series, which is ruling that segment of compact luxury executive sedan. And 3 Series is the unmatched in the driving dynamics in that segment. But now there's a real threat for the 3 Series. There have been a lot of rivals coming up to compete with the 3 Series. A lot of them have been successful in the sales, but nobody has matched the 3 Series in its driving dynamics as much as this car did. Then this one is the Jaguar XE, which is being considered as one of the most dynamic car in this segment and the real threat for the 3 Series. A lot of comparison we have seen internationally. A lot of recognized media persons have concluded with a review of better driving dynamic car than a 3 Series. So let's find out if the new XE is competent enough to compete with the BMW 3 Series. Actually, it's the successor of the compact luxury sedan from Jaguar, which was called the X-Type, which wasn't a big hit. So Jaguar has to stop that model in between. There was a huge gap between the successor and the predecessor. Now the XE is being launched with a new tagline. So with the XE, Jaguar had a big challenge to face. It was a crowded segment where the BMW 3 Series was ruling the segment, backed by Mercedes C-Class, Audi A4 and Volvo S60, which is the common things which Indian customers knows. And there are a lot more other competing brands globally. So what Jaguar decided is to compete with the leader. First of all, with the dynamics, which is the key essential element, because a market like India may have mixed kind of customers who may be driving or maybe on the rear seat, but most of the customers who look forward in this segment globally are drivers. They want to enjoy the dynamics and to involve with the car. Jaguar benchmarked with the 3 Series while developing this car. So they were pushing the dynamic part, they were good in the chassis management and suspension design, and were able to be successful against the global leader on the segment. Jaguar introduced the XE with the petrol variant in India first, and we were waiting for the new diesel engine to come to India, which is called the ingenium engine. And this engine is a fully aluminum engine with a 2-liter displacement and having an output of 177 HP and 430 Nm of torque. The good part of this engine is it's a lightweight engine like the body of this car. The body as such is a fully aluminum built car, which as per Jaguar it claims to be 98% aluminum, and the 2% which is a composite alloys which is used on the critical area where you need more strength, and there's no usage of steel. So the engine is also almost fully aluminum, so it's a light engine. The power output is decent, but the good part of this engine is the support engine is getting from the transmission, which is a ZF 8-speed gearbox with a very responsive gearbox. It's having a smooth power delivery and quick shift, in resulting a quick power delivery. So instant power is always available with this car. Then you can really enjoy the power like any of the sporty diesel variants. Apart from that, there is drive mode selection, which is placed behind the rotary gear knob, and you can select from snow, which is not available here. There's eco, which is good enough for an efficiency of around 13 km per liter. You have the comfort and the sport one, which actually shrink the car, make it more tight and sporty. The dynamics plays very well, and you can select the sport mode with the rotary gear lever knob. The performance changes, it will be quick in delivery, it will shrink onto you and catch the corners smartly, and it will be very dynamic to enjoy this sporty drive of the XE. I wish we had a more powerful variant at a track so that we can really push the car to the limit to experience the proper dynamics. However, the steering plays a good role here. Steering is very responsive, it is precise like in a BMW. It's not hard, but it is on to the point, and your command is delivered properly to the road, and you'll gain a lot of confidence while you're driving with the steering. Another point gained for this car is in the suspension, which is, as you mentioned, is a dynamic one, but it's also comfortable. The ride comfort is good. The harshness level is very low. So you are getting a sublime ride, which is good to win the hearts of Indians who actually look for the comfort over anything. Even though engine noise is coming to the cabin a bit, The other NVH level is very low. The road noise and wind noise is optimum, and the harshness level is very less, especially with the suspension. But let me pull over to check the exterior of the car, which Ian Callum and his team sculpted with a new design philosophy, which will be continuing in the Jaguar comes to come. Design of the new Jaguar XE is the base of the new Jaguar sedan models, which we have seen in the new generation XF as well. The design is very much like the Ian Callum design profile, which is a clean design with minimal lines, and the proportion and the profile is very much like which you have seen in the other Jaguars. In the front, you can see a massive mesh grille with the identity. In the front, you can see a massive mesh grille with the identity of the Jaguar, and headlight is having a jet treatment on the LED daytime running light, which look again to the family. Front hood has got a masculine feel with the hump on the front. The side profile again is very much like any of the Jaguar car, with a coupe-like roofline with a smaller silhouette of the Jaguar, and headlight is having a jet treatment on the LED daytime running light, which look again to the family. Front hood has got a masculine feel with the hump on the front. The side profile again is very much like any of the Jaguar car, with a coupe-like roofline with a smaller silhouette. The body is actually having a clean design with a basic line which starts from the fender with a element over there, and this starts at the end of the second door, which is the rear door, and the dynamic line is also very mild one. The masculine feel is also retained with the silhouette shoulder line, which look again attractive. On the rear, you can see a sleeker tail light, which again is an identity of the new Jaguar cars, with a sleeker illumination, which look again attractive. The wheels are again the 17-inch wheel, which one we having today is a elegant design with a 17 spoke design. It look good and blend very well with the design of this new XE. So altogether, the XE's design could be the new identity for the future XE sedans to come, which has followed in the XE. Maybe in the new XE also we can see the evolution of this design. With three variants, pure, prestige and portfolio, Jaguar has different trim with this car, and it's evident mostly in the interior. The car which you're driving now is the prestige variant. It's almost fully loaded, the second option among the list, and you are getting a lot of goodies in this. First one to attract me is the Meridian sound system. It's a very good sound system which you can really enjoy your favorite musics, and the on-car infotainment system by Jaguar with a touchscreen is also available in this variant. The graphic level has improved a little, but it's not the top notch. The infotainment system is also not that involving as the rivals mostly. And the reverse camera on this touch screen is not, the quality of the screen is also not great. So reverse camera look a bit blurred compared to the rivals. When you talk about the touch, you may feel it very convenient, but in fact, it's not that convenient as the supporting rotary knob or a touchpad here. Because you need to reach your hands here, your attention will definitely get diverted to the screen because everything is controlled over here. Whereas on the rotary knob, you can just look at the screen here and control over here, which I think ergonomically is much better and safer. It's a call for the Jaguar for the upcoming model to have some supporting element over here so that the moment is not taken over, or maybe introduce the next generation gesture features to this. Anyway, there is a supporting screen over here which can be controlled with the multifunction switches on the steering. However, not all the functions can be controlled over here. The interior is sculpted very well. The design is different from compared to the scene in the other Jaguar model. XJ had a round air vent and XF had a rotary one which covers up. So the center console is different. It's having a top air vent and neatly layouted switches. The plastic quality is good. Overall touch and feel is good. The dual tone color treatment again is a personal choice. A lot of people like the beige, but I personally would prefer a darker color. However, the darker colors over here make it more practical to use this car. Seat is supportive, especially the side wall is very supportive. Move over without, you can really touch the corner without moving much. However, the rear seat feels a bit claustrophobic, a bit cramped. The headroom is not that great. The knee room, if you put the seat a little bit for a taller guy, will be tight. and thigh support is decent, but the third person in the center would find it difficult because of the huge transmission tunnel going through the center portion. So rear is not that great, and this segment is not really meant for that globally, where they have the mass volume, but in India, of course, it's an important area. The 455 liter boot space is what available with the XE, and the boot well is deep enough and the opening is also wide, so you can decently keep good amount of luggage in that. Finally, when we conclude the drive of the XE, what are the verdict? The verdict which I have is what I said in the beginning, is a proper driver's machine, a good thread for the 3 Series on the dynamics. However, BMW has got the edge in the market, being the first to come and the established sales network. But the Jaguar is not behind. They are also building up the sales network, and they are also introducing a lot of service package which make the car more easy for your pocket to own.